Gonna cook a brisket on my new Kamado grill tonight on Of course, I start and a big gust of wind comes up. This is your basic Kamado grill. I've heard of big green eggs. This is its little brother. This is made of steel with insulation, with ceramic insulation in it, instead of being made of 2-inch ceramics. There is a great cost savings there. This cost probably 25% of a big green egg, but yet can do 95% of what it can do. So I'm trying it out. These things are notoriously finicky. So why would I go from a Green Mountain grill where you set it and forget it to this? Well, I'm still looking for that great smoked taste. The Green Mountain grill is wonderful for fowl, chicken and turkey, but it just doesn't do a very good brisket or anything like that. So I'm hoping this is my answer. This will also get up to 700 degrees so you can actually sear steaks on it. So what I'd probably do is sear the steaks on this for 2 minutes aside, and then move them over and finish them off on the Green Mountain grill at 400 degrees till the internal temperature got up to 145. This is my first time to try to use this. I've actually done the burn-in 400 degrees for an hour, and it got up to about 500 degrees before I was able to stop it from going up. So we're going to see if I can get it to all around 350 tonight to cook that brisket. I'm cooking it hotter than you're used to because 225 is the regular temperature, but I'm hoping that 350 I can attain on this. I'm probably going to fail tremendously, and that's a really nice piece of beef. So I bought some pellets for the Green Mountain grill. If it starts going really wrong, I'll just swap over to that and admit defeat. But if that happens, y'all won't ever see it. So here, let's take a tour of this really quickly. You control the heat and the temperature through just two things on this one. The top smokestack, which opens and closes, and the bottom slide. These both have markings. I don't know if you can see that. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and completely closed. And this has 0 through 5. This doesn't work very well. I've actually got an email into King Griller to see if they'll send me the newer ones, which I thought I was getting, have a nice powder coated metal piece on top here. Mine didn't. I've been in contact with them and they say they'll get me one, but I haven't heard back from them after they said they'd get me one. But that's how you do it. You open this up and you close that down. So it's nice, thick, insulated metal with ceramic inside. This is your fire pot. This is lump charcoal, not just your regular everyday old charcoal. It's more expensive, but burns a lot longer. And in these devices, you can actually shut off both the top and the bottom, and they have these seals on them that seal everything, and you can shut off the top and the bottom, and there's not enough oxygen for the coals to stay. In fact, see, from the burn-in I did, here's one of the pieces of coal. So they go out, and you can use them 3 or 4 times, I understand, before they go completely away. This right here in the middle is the new Weber fire starter. If you haven't tried those and you use charcoal, you got to go get one. Just light it. Well, let's see if I can do it real quick. And it's lit. That's all there is to it. You don't have to use any kind of starter fluid or anything like that. And that thing will not go out. And then you just pile stuff up on top of it. I've got some hickory wood in here that I'm hoping to use as smoke. And there we go. She's set. That's a grill off of one of my other old grills. For low and slow, which 350 degrees is, you need a heat diffuser. In this case, a pizza stone set on top of it. This creates convection. This round thing, only the heat and stuff can come out on the sides here, and with the round top, this creates a convection, so it's more like an oven. This takes the heat from there and doles it out slowly, so you don't get a real burnt piece of meat. And then last but not least, the main grill, which in this case is a nice heavy cast iron. There it is. Couldn't think of it. Nice heavy cast iron. So it also has this piece, which goes into these holes on either side, so you can do 3 things at once. 2 things down here and 1 up here. Not going to use that tonight. But let's see how close I can get using my newest gadget. They call them Mavericks, even though I don't know why. But it has 2 plug-ins. One that goes to the grill and one that goes to the food. That way it'll tell you what the temperature of the grill is and what the temperature of the food is. And you can actually set it to tell it if it goes out of range. If it gets too low or too high, the alarm will go off for the grill. On this one, it automatically keeps, with all that right there, it automatically keeps the temperature you set. This one, you have to come out and futz with the top and bottom things. So, looking forward to having a long night. So let this thing get up to temperature. First things first, I have to get the brisket out of the cryo bag. Alright, well the first thing I did was actually cut off some of the fattier parts of the brisket. I'm going to make pho, which is a Vietnamese soup, beef soup, and you always make it with fatty brisket. So I cut off some more, and then I decided to cut off even a little bit more. So that's what I did to make it fit into the pan better. This is a big old monster thing, and it's going to take many hours of cooking, which is why I'm glad I'm doing it on a Kamado grill, because it won't take much charcoal, but I'll get a lot of time out of it. Okay, I'm going to do this one very simply. This is actually choice beef from Sam's of all places. They don't have Costco in here in Lubbock, so I had to go with Sam's. Actually looks like a very good piece of meat to me. So I'm going to go very simple. Just an injection of beef stock and put some pecan rub on it. This stuff is really good. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's very good. Now I'm using beef stock, which is actually made from the bones of the beef. It's got a more beef flavor to it than beef broth, which is just made with simmering meat and water and stuff. So I'm trying to get a more beefy flavor out of an already really, hopefully, beefy tasting piece of meat. So just got to put these in a few places real quick, and then I'll put the rub on. I'm going to feel like a dentist here. Well, turn it over and do it to both sides, but I won't make you watch that. Okay, well, looking on the internet to find out how to do a brisket nowadays, the new way of thinking is to not trim this big old fat piece of fat, but to just sort of score it a few times. Because what happens especially on a Kamado grill or any grill where there's heat coming up from the bottom, is you put this fat side down, and it acts like a buffer between the heat and the good meat. Then after you cook it, then you cut off the fat. So looked pretty good, so I'm going to try it that way. So here we are, putting little cuts in it so it'll help render it out while it's cooking. And then I'm going to put the rub on it. Put this stuff very liberally on here, covering every little nook and cranny of it. Yeah, I know, I should make my own rubs, but that's why I'm the gadget gardener. I like taking the easy way out and letting somebody else do the hard stuff. Do the other side, and then I'll show you the grill. It's only been about 5 or 8 minutes, and it's already got the temperature up to 246 inside there. About 265 or 270 is when I got to start trying to close the vents down and start trying to rail back the heat. So that's what the next thing I'll do. As soon as it hits about 7 degrees higher, it's going up quite quickly. So that's my next thing. Well, it just hit 325 on its way to hopefully 350. So I'm going to put the brisket on now and wish me luck. On there. I won't, it's probably going to take 10-12 hours to cook, so I'm not going to touch it for at least 5 hours unless of course it starts going up to 500-600 degrees. Then I'll put it on the Green Mountain Grill. So we'll see what happens. My battery's dying, so probably won't be able to talk to you much more until it's charged for a little while. Took a little bit of futzing with it, but I finally got the grill to settle in at 325 or 324. Got up to 330 a couple of times and got down to 320, so it did fluctuate, but it always went back to about 324. Brisket's done at about 205. Then you take it and wrap it in foil, heavy-duty foil, throw it into a cooler for about 2 hours, and then we'll see what we got. Got 2 more degrees, and I'll go wrap that brisket up. Yeah, hoping you could see that. Got a light on here, but you can't see it. But it's supposedly done. It's right at 200 degrees, which the rest of it's about 205. This isn't taking entirely too long. Maybe 205. Right at 200. It's done enough for me. Well, there it is. Once again, you can't really see it. Looks darn good. Smells darn good. Gotta wait 2 more hours before I can eat it though. It's gonna be the longest 2 hours of the last few days. The ends, the thinner ends, did get a little Pompeii-like, but the rest came out very nice. It's very nice and tender, good little smoke ring around it. It's very, very, very moist. I like the taste. Doing it at 325. Doing it at 325 was a lot faster than I expected. It actually cooked in about 6 hours. I expected it to take a long, long time, but it cooked in about six hours. And I didn't think it'd be moist. I didn't think it'd be anything tasty, but it's actually really good. So don't know that I'll ever do another one at 325. I'll probably stick to 225 to 250 because I figured out how to regulate the temperature last night. I was pretty sure I wouldn't be able to keep it that low, but Now I know how to open things and close things and what to do to get it to stay. Once you get it to temperature, how to how to keep it at that temperature. Thing about it is those grills hold on to so much heat that you don't want to overshoot stuff, because it's very, very hard to get it to cool down, but it's not that hard to get it to warm up. So you start cutting it down really, really early. But I'm actually quite happy with the results. This stuff is just pull apart, moist, and nice little smoke ring there. Don't even really need a knife. Great crust. I'm actually very happy with it. So I give it a thumbs up. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but there's still a little bit of smoke coming out of the grill. That's why I want to get rid of this top thing. It doesn't really shut down like it should. It's about 8 hours after the cook, and it's still putting out heat. You really do get what you paid for. That pizza stone was on sale. It actually broke into about 5 pieces at about 150 degrees as the grill was warming up. Just pushed them together like a jigsaw puzzle, because all I really wanted it for was to diffuse the heat. But now I gotta find a better one. All in all, I'm actually quite happy with my new Kamado grill. That's not really a Kamado grill, but it is. Did a good job of cooking. Wasn't really as finicky with the temperature as I said it would be. I wasn't trying to keep it down that low, but I'm kind of looking forward to doing another cook on it. I'm thinking maybe a Boston butt, which is actually pork shoulder, with some pulled pork. Have a nice day.